here. And just welcome everyone to this business freedom workshop. Oh, it's still admitting people here. Okay, here we go. Well, welcome everyone. I am Lauren Best, and I am the systemologist at Assistantly. My expertise really delves into supporting creative entrepreneurs to not only simplify and scale up their businesses by designing new ways of working and capturing systems so that they can stay in their zone of genius and also experience more freedom of time, money, and energy in doing what they love. And I have also worked with folks across the globe from Canada to the UK, the Netherlands, the US, Australia, and Singapore. And now I am really excited to be working with Assistantly as the in-house systemologist. So for those of you who are wondering what is a systemologist or where I kind of come into the picture in relation to the virtual assistant outsourcing journey, basically, once someone signs up with Assistantly, our amazing client success team begins working behind the scenes to find you someone and find some of the best VAs that would be suited for your needs. You then have the opportunity to interview these candidates before selecting the VA that is the best match for you. And then I'm the one who comes in to help you and your VA in a collaboration and co-creation session to really co-create a freedom recipe, which captures all of the ingredients that will make it possible for you and your VA to really collaborate to your full potential on the different tasks that you want to outsource so that you can also reach your business goals that require you to be in your zone of genius. Just getting, rid of all of these things that would make it possible for them to be successful as well in supporting you. So during these systemologist sessions, we go over the tasks or the projects, perhaps it might be more of a project that you're wanting them to get started with. And we really detail the step-by-step SOPs that will make it possible to achieve whatever it is you're handing over. So we really identify all of those ingredients. Like any recipe, there's many, many ingredients. So we identify those ingredients that will make it possible. And when you hire an Assistantly VA, we will put our creative minds together to design your freedom recipe by coming up with different ideas to map out and simplify the perhaps existing procedures or come up with new procedures and activities of the task at hand. We also might identify, or usually always, we really identify all the tools, the apps, the logins, the assets, different resources that your VA will really need to do that task or that project. And then we create a checklist of any additional materials that you will need to gather for your VA to use. And we also, identify how you want to communicate with your VA. And that's a big part of it as well. We won't leave you at the end of that session, like, what happens next? When do I start? And like, how do I communicate with your VA? So that's also a really important piece of the puzzle that we make sure that you're super aligned on as well. So this systemologist session just really helps to bridge the gap that we used to see happen far too often, which is when a business owner hires a VA and the first 2 weeks end up being very touch and go, and both the business owner and the VA are not quite sure how to get started. We really want to make sure that you're both feeling confident and prepared to collaborate, especially in those beginning stages of hiring a new VA or perhaps introducing new tasks to your current VA or a new VA. And also that you as the business owner can also collaborate with your VA in a very effective and efficient way. So that really brings us to why we're here for this business freedom workshop. Before you can even really begin to figure out the type of VA or the expertise of the VA you would like to hire that would be most valuable for you, the most, or even, begin to put together that freedom recipe that would make it possible, we really need to take a few steps back to figure out, what are the activities that have become a drain on your energy and time, to really identify those areas of opportunity for outsourcing tasks or projects, and as well gain that clarity on how outsourcing the most impactful parts of your business can really keep you doing what you love and bring more freedom to your work and to your life. So my goal today is really to help you understand how outsourcing can become an important part of reaching your business goals and your own unique idea of freedom, and what this could look like for you and your business. So also as an incentive for staying till the end of the call, it's very exciting. We'll be raffling off a pair of AirPods Pro at the end of the workshop. And we'll also be offering another great discount for those who have attended the webinar today. So please stick around until the end, where I will hand over the reins to our CEO, Leigh, to share these with you. And of course, we will have time at the end for a Q&A session where some of your questions may also be passed over to our amazing client success manager, Melvin. So let's get started. We'll jump right into the workshop piece of the session today. So we will be following a business freedom audit framework for the next part of the workshop. So I have shared that in the chat, I believe. I'm going to share it again, and you should have received it as well in the email. But if you haven't given yourself access to that, I've just shared it in the chat now. So what you can do is just follow that link that I've sent to you. I'm actually going to share my screen and kind of walk you through how to duplicate it. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so once you follow that link, you'll see a screen like this that has a link in the middle. So it's nothing bad. You can go ahead and you can click that link in the middle. And then you'll just notice in the top right-hand corner where it says duplicate, you can click on that. And then if you have a Notion account, it'll automatically populate. If not, you can decide to continue with Google or with Apple or enter your email address, whatever makes the most sense for you. And then you will come up with, just share my next screen here. You will come up with the worksheet, the Business Freedom Audit worksheet here. Okay, so I'll just give you a few minutes. I would actually love just to keep like momentum going because we have quite a few things to get to today. If possible, if there's a few people who could help me out in the chat today, just sharing with me when you're done, and that way I can just sharing the word done, I can keep the pace and keep us moving at a place where everyone is catching along as well. So we'll take a minute or so here for you to set that up. And again, if you don't want to use this worksheet and you don't want to duplicate it, then you can use a Word document. I'm going to be like guiding you through everything. So you can use a Word document, a pen and paper, whatever feels good. I'm also going to ask a little bit of housekeeping here too, if possible. If anyone who is not on mute, I just invite you to mute your audio as well. You can do that in the middle left-hand icon with the microphone at the bottom. Okay, how's everyone doing with the worksheet? If I could get any thumbs up or done in the chat. Good, done, amazing. Done, done, done. Good. Fantastic, thank you. Okay. All right, so now that you have it all right, okay, great. Let's get started. So basically this template works as a business freedom audit is kind of the name of it. So you can use this template to really outline and prioritize the activities and the parts of your business that can be delegated and outsourced. Keep them top of your mind using this template and make it easy for you to reference after the workshop. So as we see here, there's two sections that we're going to start off with. So we have this first section here, which is experience more of. This is like the most, you know, all these pieces are really important pieces of the puzzle, but this is the most important piece of the puzzle to start with. And often it's the reason why you might have started your business in the first place, maybe not like the why the purpose, but one of the, some of the things that you really enjoy doing in your business. So perhaps even in your life as well. So I encourage you to start by just making a list that really includes all of the things that you would want to prioritize, that really nourish you, that fill up your cup, that light you up, that keep you in that zone of genius doing what you love. So we can just kind of let all of those, you know, to-dos or things that are clouding our time and our judgment, our calendars, kind of put them to the side for a minute and just write down all of these great things that you really, really want to experience more of in your business and perhaps even in your life as well. So we'll take about 3 minutes. If we need more, again, I'll just gauge and ask for your help in the chat, and then we can keep the pace going great. And as we go through this template as well, I'm going to also be, sharing some like extra questions to you, or maybe some examples that might also really help you think of different things that you might not have thought of. So for instance, even experience more of, it might be like small moments in the day where it's like time for yourself or time for your family or time for a hobby, or, the certain parts of your business that, come really naturally, and perhaps, you just really light up when you do these activities as well. Try and think of those types of things. Perhaps it's something you've actually never gotten around to do and you've always wanted to do. Perhaps like a new, service or product or hobby that you've, kind of just put to the side because there's too many other things going on. Perhaps maybe it's even like different emotions. Perhaps it's, you'd like to experience more fun, more happiness, more serenity, or like balance as well. That can be something that you can write down and bring to fruition here. Hopefully, you have a few things written down now in this area of things that you want to experience more of. We're now going to do the contrast of that and look over to the right hand column here, which is, what do you want to experience less of? What kind of business activities are drains on your energy, on your time? You can list out maybe some of the um, relationships or certain touch points that you have perhaps with clients, or perhaps within your team or with outside vendors. Are these things that you need to be doing, or perhaps can be something that you want to do less of? Are there different things or services or obligations, tasks, anything that kind of feels like noise, whatever it is that you can think of that you want to do less of, or perhaps do without completely? You can also think of some of the things that consume your time and energy that take you away from your genius zone, take you away from the business activities or the life activities that you really want to experience more of, that you really enjoy. So just think of that contrast of, what it is you want to experience more of, and then in turn, what can go, or, not spend so much time or energy on. Perhaps you can also think of things that might be repetitive, and that perhaps there is opportunity to do more of or less of that thing, because maybe, it doesn't have to be something that's manually done every single time. You can kind of, think for some of those scenarios as well. Just things that you think could really have less time, less energy spent on. Perhaps there's also different decisions that, till this point that you've been in charge of making. Perhaps there could be like decision making activities that might need a bit of a shift, and you're kind of finding that are becoming, too draining and repetitive as well. I'm just gauging from the few faces that I see, but I just want to check in as well to see how everyone's doing in terms of time. If you have a few things, it's also a great start, because we're going to have lots of opportunity for me to kind of ask the same questions in different ways so that you can get thinking to different things as well. So if everyone is feeling like they have a few things, I'm going to move on to the next section here. Okay, so let's focus in on for a few minutes here this business activity inventory. So let's, you know, look beyond what you want to experience more of and experience less of, and really look at what's going on in your business right now. So this might look like thinking of what's happening within existing commitments that you have, whether it's with external stakeholders, internal stakeholders like your team, or any clients. You can think of any existing commitments that you have. You can also look to the services that you offer. What are all those services or perhaps products that you offer? You can also make a list of any of the marketing activities that you've been doing, any collaborative projects that might be not necessarily like the core of your business, but maybe even are more of like collaborative, passion projects, just anything like that. Just take that time right now to make a list of the projects and ideas that you have accomplished, are working on, or have maybe even in the back of your mind that you haven't yet acted on, but are things that you're wanting to really bring into your business. You can think of the consistent activities, the tasks and responsibilities that happen within these different areas of your business. Existing commitments can also be things like, certain check-ins with your team or with any external clients. It might be as well any, existing projects that you have in the go, any existing work that you have with current clients as well, or maybe looking at within your service offerings, um, the different things that you are offering right now, but perhaps want to in the future. Marketing activities might be anything from, networking events as well. Like try to think of all these things that even if they might not seem like, traditional marketing, what are the things that are still taking your time and your energy that also involve, making connection and growing connection as well. This collaborative projects area as well. It might also be collaborative partnerships that you have that take time to build and grow and nourish that do require liaising of some sort or perhaps setting the foundations. There's just very many opportunities that we can really like focus in on within these different parts of our business. How are we all doing in this section? Any thumbs up from anyone with cameras on if you're done or needing more time? We're good. All right. So let's take it a step down and just take another perspective into identifying the things that are happening in our business right now. So let's look at the operations of our business here. So here we can make a list of the operational tasks or processes that you go through not only on a daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis. So this can really help to just identify what are some of these repetitive things that are constantly happening or needing to be done or have become, a part of the process of operating your business. You can think of it in terms of different, housekeeping, background, operational tasks or processes or procedures. You can also think of it as different communications that you have within your team or within your clients or marketing. Could even be when it comes to bookkeeping or finances or maintaining organizational management within your digital files, for instance, your inbox management. Okay. So hopefully you have a few more detailed within this section as well. There might be a lot of repetitive things that you have seen throughout the last three kind of section areas that we looked at, but this is really just to get you thinking differently. Sometimes when we're asked the same question in different ways, we allow ourselves to not only come up with, new points of clarity, but also see different patterns as well. Perhaps if there's something that you've, written down maybe three times or, twice across the different areas, then that can also show you a bit of a pattern as well. So let's have a look next at this section of auditing of activities. So with all these things that you've just written down and identified when it comes to different tasks or activities, which from the above activities or tasks do you think could actually potentially be eliminated? So this might not be that, tomorrow you stop doing this thing, but perhaps there's something that is happening in your business that is such a drain on your energy and time. And perhaps there's a way that in the future, this can actually be, systematized in a way, or you can work towards a place where the way you're doing things isn't in this way any longer. So with this title of eliminated, it might feel really like, throw it in the bin kind of thing, drop it in the trash. But, try and think of it a little bit outside the box as well. Perhaps it's not something that needs to be eliminated tomorrow or today, but perhaps over time, it can be something that you eliminate. You can also think of what are some of the things that you listed that could be streamlined. Perhaps there's, parts of, the internal team communication that, there can be different processes that can be streamlined in order to create better communication. Or perhaps there can be processes that are automated, or, you can have someone helping you kind of build out the streamlining of different tasks or activities. So, what kind of things can have less touch time of you doing those things and spending your time and energy on them so that they can actually be streamlined, which will, give you more time and energy to be in your zone of genius. And then lastly, looking at, what things right away perhaps can be outsourced. So maybe there's things already that, there's not the need for someone to help you streamline them or get you to a place of being eliminated. Maybe there's something that you can outsource right away. What are some of those things that you actually don't need to be doing anymore? Because there can be someone who is an expert in that, task or that activity that can really just take the reins from you and take that thing over, and leave you with more of that time and more of the energy that you really deserve. And don't think too hard about this. If you're not sure where these things might fit, that's perfectly okay. We're going to, in the next part, also be, looking at what would make the most sense for you to potentially outsource as well. But this is just to get you thinking of, what things, kind of still need to exist in the long term so they can be streamlined or outsourced. And then in the short term, perhaps, um, or even in the long term, can work towards a place of being eliminated as well. Okay. So like I said, if you don't have too much in that section, that's perfectly okay. Whatever you do have is just a great accumulation of everything you've done so far. So let's focus on this last area here, which is looking at what are the different opportunities to have a virtual assistant support you. So I have, on this chart written down 1, 2, 3. You might want to get a little messy at first. You might not know what would come first. So just, starting with perhaps what is the number one thing if you have an idea, perhaps you don't, like I said, that's perfectly okay, but what is the number one thing that would just feel like a breath of fresh air that you could get off your chest that would be really easy, that perhaps showed up in that last third column, that outsource column? What is that first thing that you think would be super easy to hand off, or just even the most appealing to you to hand off to give you more of that freedom? And something that I really encourage you to consider here as well is that perhaps underlying with this, one big thing, this kind of core area that would feel really good to outsource, there might be some things that might kind of need to be in place before you can outsource this project or task. For instance, say if you're thinking, this might not apply to everyone, but if you're thinking, I would really love help with my marketing, for instance, I would really love help with social media, but perhaps your backend systems like your Google Drive and your folders and your files are all a muck and just a mess. In order to make it easy for this marketing expert, this VA to come along and help you with that, there might be opportunity here to have a different type of EA who really has that expertise in organization and backend structure. So just kind of think a little bit outside the box when it comes to identifying some of these opportunities for hiring a VA, because we do see, and what we love to do is also find VAs for different parts of your journey. So perhaps, your end goal is having someone helping you with your marketing, but perhaps right now it might actually be really beneficial to you to start by hiring a BA to help you with something else to kind of build those blocks, just like any building, building that foundation before you build the structure. So just trying to think of anything like that. But I encourage you, whether it's one opportunity here or three, to just kind of write down also what would feel the most good for you. I think some of these details, that's our job as assistantly, is also to figure out who would be the best fit for you as well. And my job as a systemologist to package it all together. So just kind of trusting your gut as well, and relying on these findings that you already found today in this worksheet to really guide you to some of these opportunities that you can see for yourself as well. So again, just using this gray box below to kind of brainstorm more of these opportunities that might be related to this top opportunity and top priority task or project or area or focus within your business, really using this area to brainstorm potentially more opportunities to actually be supported in building the foundation of that area as well. You can kind of think of these, 1, 2, 3. You might want to delete the 1, 2, 3, but you can also think of the 1, 2, 3 almost as a roadmap to your freedom. So the first thing kind of being, okay, what would need to happen before I can get to a place where I can, outsource this next thing, or I can have an expert help me, with this part of my business. Just kind of seeing it as like the building blocks and, those milestone points for just going on, this path to really finding more of that freedom within your business and your life as well. All right. So I hope that from all these exercises and that you've done this audit, my hope for you is that you're walking away with a roadmap and highlight of the different activities that can be outsourced, perhaps in the sequence that they might need to be outsourced in, or the different types of VAs um, that you can engage to do these different tasks that would really bring you on this path of experience more freedom in your business as well. So before we wrap up, I would actually love to hand it over to Laith, who will be sharing with us the winner of the iPod Pros, as well as an exciting treat for all of you as well.
All right.
All
Can
right.
everybody hear me okay? All right, sweet. So we thank you guys for staying around. It's 8:48. I appreciate you guys taking the time to go through Lauren's workshop, and I hope you guys got some great value from it. I know a lot of you guys are also here because you're like, oh, am I going to win the AirPod Pros or not? It's not the one in my ears. It's a brand new pair, so I promise you that it's a brand new pair. I have like a little what I do is like this little random name wheel generator that I have. It's actually like a cookie. I'll share it with you guys if you guys want to see it. And I'm just going to spin it one spin, and then whoever the winner is, I'm going to put in the chat, and then I'll just have you stay on after just so I can get shipping address. So let me just double check to make sure I have everybody in here. I was writing this down while Lauren was speaking. All right. One person dropped off, so that's chances just increased. Awesome. David. All right, so we got 20 people in here. I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel. Um, I'll actually share my screen just so you know I'm not full of it. Let me see. Boom. My window. I'm getting used to. I'm getting used to Google Meet. I typically use Zoom. So this is the cookie wheel that I was telling you about. I put everybody's name in here so everybody gets a fair shot. All I do is click it, and then that's the winner. So I'm just going to do it once. Again, I thank you guys for joining. So go ahead and click this. And there's going to be a slight delay because I see it in real time, but there'll be a slight delay. So the winner is Encore Patel. Thank you, Encore, for joining. So you are the winner. I actually think I have your shipping address already. I will go ahead or I'll just confirm with you after just to make sure, but I'll go ahead and send you those AirPod Pros. Winner chicken dinner. Again, Lauren's going to be hosting plenty of these workshops again on different topics as we go on. It just kind of depends on my mood. If, this week is AirPods, maybe if we do a bigger one, it could be like an iPad, maybe a computer, who knows, TV. I like giving away free stuff because it's free value. With that being said, I'm also going to put in the chat here. If you thought Lauren's workshop was helpful, the cool thing about Lauren is, if you do sign up with a VA from us, she'll do more of a personal call with you. This is obviously a more generalized call. So if you hire a VA from us, and then, the first step onto really working with your virtual assistant is onboarding with our systemologist, who is Lauren. So she'll go actually through a personal session with you. Not only once, if you want to schedule multiple, you can schedule multiple. So it's free value and it's free for our clients. Again, Lauren's, is more of a professional consultant. So if you were to hire her outside, she's a pretty penny and she's 100% worth it. But again, we wanted to offer that, to all our assistantly clients completely free. So, the first session that you have with her and your virtual assistant is going to be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to really, get things going. And then if you want to schedule calls in the future, you absolutely can at any given time. If you're looking to hire a second virtual assistant, if you're looking to expand the role on your current virtual assistant, she can definitely help out. So for those that are still on here, and then I have your guys' names. One thing I wanted to offer for also as an incentive for joining the webinar is $200 off each month for the first 3 months. Just as like a little, incentive. I typically will do like a first week free. If it's a really special occasion, I'll write like I'll do a discount. Typically not this good of a discount. So it's $200 off the first 3 months for any VA you decide to hire. So whether it's we have 10-hour, we have a part-time option, and we have a full-time option. It's $200 off any VA you decide to hire. I'm going to put the link to sign up here, and then I'm going to show you how that will be redeemed going forward. So here's the link to sign up. If you guys would like to sign up for a virtual assistant, let me put it in the handy dandy chat. Boom. And then I'm going to share my screen just really quick. So when you go through the sign up form, the last question is, how did you hear about us? Or how did you hear about Assistantly? So I'm going to share my screen really quick. A window, sign up form. All right, I'm sure you guys could, my screen's about to populate. So this last question on the sign up form is, how did you hear about Assistantly? And again, only you guys that are here would understand this or know this, but right here, when you click other, just click other and put like webinar or, workshop. Webinar or workshop works. And then that way, when we get it in our back end, I can flag it for $200 off. And the team, obviously Melvin and Kate and the team are here and they're also very aware. We can flag it so that way when, we charge a first month payment, there's a $200 off discount attached for the first 3 months recurring. So again, you're going to go to last question is, how did you hear about Assistantly? And then the last one is other. You're going to put webinar or workshop, and then that you'll be able to redeem. Great question. Does this offer extend to last week? This offer extend is only this week. It's only this week. So this week only. What did I say? I said 200 off each month for 3 months. So that's a discount. That's the code. Yep. There is there still a fee? So there, when you sign up, there's still $199 setup fee. That's a great question. What I'll do is, that question is required on our sign-up form. I'll make it unrequired. So also, you guys are the only ones that know that you guys can skip over it because there's no asterisk. I'll make it unrequired so you don't have to do the sign-up. You don't have to do the setup fee. I'll do that right now. And again, I'm only going to do that up until Sunday this week, and then I'm gonna make it required again. So let me take away that question, make it less not required. I'm not gonna make it required for you guys. And again, as soon as Sunday hits, end of the night, after I watch some football, I'm going to turn that back on. So let me do that right now. So you guys have it. So you guys are all good to go on that. And then, yeah, again, Lauren's going to be hosting many of these going forward. We're going to hope to have at least one a month. They're going to be on different topics. I always encourage, it's free value. It's free. It's pretty much essentially a free audit of your business. You really get to really think about your business in a different way. I mean, how many times as business owners do you really sit down for 30, 45 minutes and really be like, let me just do a full audit of my business and really understand what I need help with? And she's here to kind of change the mentality of like you to like we to them, right? So I was like, the I we they is like you're doing it, then you and your VA are doing it, and then they are doing it. So the I we they is a very important, like IWT is a very important acronym to keep as a note, keep in your head, keep as a goal. Um, so yeah, I we days. Yeah, a lot of you guys are doing it yourself. We's with a virtual assistant, and then essentially you want to pass those duties onto the virtual assistant so they are doing it, and then you can focus on something else in your business. Again, we have two of our really special VAs on our team members, Melvin and Kate, are on here. Again, from when I hired them to where they are now, they are like complete different levels. So that's all I have to say. If you guys have any questions, whether it's for Lauren or for anything, just put in the chat. Again, we have about like 5 minutes or so left. So again, any questions that you have, systems question, ops question, any question, just put that in the chat, please. And then we should be good to go. So pricing here, I'll go ahead and put pricing so you guys have it. It just, again, everything is found on our website. So if you go to assistantly.com, probably a lot of the questions you may have as far, here it is. We'll probably answer a lot of those questions for you. All right. And then, yeah, Colin, as far as we have a 10-hour a week option, a part-time, which is 20 hours a week. And then we have a full-time, which is 40 hours a week.
And as we're kind of waiting the last few minutes for anyone to ask any more questions, I'll share with you as well. After joining Assistantly as a systemologist, I hired my very first VA, and it was such a wonderful experience feeling like Kate and Melvin and the team really, really understood what I was wanting to achieve, and not only, help me with all the tasks that I've been wanting to do and just haven't had the time or energy to do. And I'm on my second month with my new VA and just really feeling like the match is really well suited. She's so incredibly intelligent and good at what she does. So just for anyone who is also hiring their very first VA like me, I really, really found that Kate and Melvin just go above and beyond in finding amazing candidates. So hopefully that can bring you more confidence in taking that next step as well. Oh, thank you all so much for attending. If there's not any more questions, then I'll just share with you as well. If you have any ideas for any upcoming workshops, any topics, any themes, any areas of your business that you need more support on, please do send me an email. You can email me at lauren@assistantly.com, and I will definitely read it, and I will definitely consider it and see if it's something that I can support you with as well. So please do reach out to me. All right.
Cool. Thank
And
you, everybody.
thank you. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time. Hi, Kate and Melvin. I don't know if you're still here. Oh,
Hi, Lauren.
Still here.
hi.
Hey, Lauren.
How did you